program or a project. Your general operating expenses. We roll it down. Your general operating expenses. Your light, your gas, your phone, your staff, your travel, your transportation, the rent for the location or the mortgage, whatever you have. Those are general operating expenses. If you request funding for general operating expenses, it must be just that. Or staff, funding for your staff. In-kind contribution or receipt. This is where you are donated money. People donate you money lots of times. When you can't get funds, when you need money, say, Clara, we're having an event for kids, and we need some clothing for kids who are homeless. Well, Clara doesn't, I'm soliciting money to help buy clothing. Well, Clara doesn't have any money, but Clara has a line of clothing. Clara donates a half dozen outfits. That's in kind. So it still has value, and it is deductible by the IRS standard. So it doesn't always have to be cash. That's the one thing about being good thing about being a nonprofit is that you can always do donations, and it does not. There's even an organization called I can't remember the name of it, but you can Google it. In-kind donations, and there's lots of organizations where you can sign up if you're a nonprofit and you can actually donate it. Like when we were first started with the kids and we needed tapes, DVDs, pens, paper pads, and all that good stuff. We didn't have the money, but we could get organizations to donate it in kind. Yeah. And a lot of times there's so much fraud going on. People want to be sure that their money is not being wasted. We're not going shopping. So they will give you what you need instead of giving you the money, which is fine, because if you're honest, if that's what you really need, that's fine. So those are in-kind donations. And just like you give your donation, we also have a program, the Higher Learning Network has a program called Go Green Recycle. You can donate your electronics, furnishings, jewelry, etc., whatever, and you can get a receipt for it, just like Goodwill or Salvation Army or anything else. And I know you all heard the stories about Salvation Army and, okay, I'm not going to go there. Anywho, there are some organizations that they do other things with their money, and that's on them because I don't have to report things. Anyway, but so just let me throw that little shameless plug out there. If you have anything you ever want to donate, call us. We'll have a driver come out and pick it up. It must be in working order because we donate these organizations. You'll get a receipt for it, and you determine what that amount is. You'll get a receipt for it, but you can report that to the IRS, and these things go to people who've been burned out or just in need. You don't have to have a disaster, but just in need. Faxes, scanners, whatever. TV, doesn't matter. Matching gifts program, we already talked about that. Non-grant financial aid. These consist of direct payments of things like college loans, retirement, and pension plans. I asked anybody, did anybody need any information on scholarships? We have that as well. Yes, ma'am. People always ask me, it's so funny. I went to, I graduated from Harold Washington College, junior college, and then also Columbia College, broadcast journalist. And the junior college, which was 2 years, it took me 4 years to graduate from there because I was too busy playing Beatles 101. The second year, it took me 8 years to graduate because I was too busy traveling. I was dropping in and out of school. And I put myself through 8 years of college, and I didn't pay a dime. Do you hear me? That's why it really ticks me off to see parents borrow money on home to send their kids to college. And somebody please say, do not mortgage your home to send your child to college. There's too much free money out here. And the Higher Learning Network knows where that money is. So if you email me, excuse me, sorry. Well, let me tell you how I did. I took out so many loans. I didn't need all the money. This was the craziest loan that I got. Grant. It was an Orville Redenbacher popcorn scholarship. You think I'm lying, though? I love Orville Redenbacher popcorn so much. When I found out, did my research that they were offering Alcorn scholarship. Oh, this was my last year of college, and they asked us to write an essay. Yes, at those moments. And explaining why I wanted the grant. Well, I could have said I just need the money to go back to school. That's not going to get you anywhere. You need to be sincere, and you need to show them why you want to go. I said, well, I'm 30-ish years old. I'm tired of working these dead-end jobs, and I get to be anywhere. And I got a mission. I want to do yada, yada. I just told the truth. And I got a $2,000 scholarship, and I took that money and paid off my $2,000 loan. That was yeah, me. Okay. All right. So get the scholarship. We're going to edit this part out. So you need to know the money is there. It can be done. They have scholarships for left-handed people. They have scholarships for farmers, daughters of farmers. I mean, there's just all kinds of money. So please tell everybody you know. Listen, the neighbor. Well, I ain't no money on scholarships. We no money on scholarships. Who must free money on school? Okay. Okay. We already talked about a project or a program. There was a program for kids called, I can't remember what the organization was. It was called Books and Basketball. They were teaching kids an after-school program, and they would let them play basketball after they finished the program. Keep kids, and it was called Books and Basketball. How clever is that? There's another one I just saw recently called Hard Hats to Helmet. Can you figure that one out? Okay, work with me. Hard hats had something to do with construction. Helmets had something to do with writing. Don't ask me, but that was the name of the project. They just stuck out in front of my head. So if you have an idea, you want something that really sticks out. Not just like I got an after-school program now. You need something catchy. And I think the more weird it is, the more memorable it is. I mean, I don't remember what the program was, but I remember hard hat, the helmet. Okay. So that's your program, your project. Restricted grant. You can get a grant if you ask for a grant for housing. You want a shelter for the homeless. You better use that grant for the housing. Because if you wind up buying 2011 Mercedes-Benz, right, well, they're coming after you. Because if you don't use that funding, it's going to show up eventually. What you do in the dark, say that. You can also sell or transfer the sale of federal property. I was working with one organization where the minister bought a church for $1. Yeah. That's what I see. Bought a church for $1. Somebody gave him the church, but for legal reasons, it had to be $1 amount, so he got it for $1. So that's always the way you do things. We talk about the special grants. Special service, similar to technical assistant grants, and may include consultation, advice, and training. So if you have a product or a service that you have an expertise in, you can get a grant for that training. Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah. Didn't even know that. Somebody did this for me today. Yeah, all right now. Technology grants. Biggest grants going. If you know anything about web or social media, you have a future. Because IT, that industry has been hit very bad, but there are grants available. There's a young man by the name of Bruce Montgomery who's also a producer down at Chicago Access Television. And I just love watching his show because every time I see, I learn something. He had a guest on his show about 3-4 months ago, a young man, and they were talking about a technology conference. Well, I don't know nothing about technology, but I think I need to know something. So I went to the conference at the Paul Center downtown. It was called DexCon 2010. I went and covered that for our TV show. I learned so much. I learned how much I don't know, and that can be frightening sometimes. So sometimes when you feel that it's something that you really have no interest in or that you don't want to know, ask the spirit that is within you if you should head in that direction, because you'll learn some things and you'll meet some people, network with some people. Is that network before you need work? Are we networking here? All right, man. You quote me on that. I don't quote me. I told you. I'm sorry. Okay. Now we're going to talk about there's all kinds of funding for different organizations and different types of funding. You've got performing historical societies, early childhood development, special education, tutoring, mentoring, education, literacy, the list goes on. Especially for schools, for those of you who have a product or service that you can teach someone, that's a no-brainer. There are also health facilities, hospitals, mental health centers, substance abuse and addiction, big bucks, big, can somebody say big bucks? Big bucks. Because you know they brought those drugs over here. We don't have any poverty fields in our community. So as a result of our people being poisoned, for lack of a word, there's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of funding in it. You want to keep that in mind. Food distribution, food banks, employment assistance training. That's big right now because of Obama's no child left behind, and also the job force. That Work Illinois program they gave us put a lot of people to work. Now a lot of people are unemployed because their program is over with, and they're fighting to continue that. So those 200,000 people that got jobs will be able to extend that and not depend on unemployment. It's gone. There's also information on senior citizens, emergency service. There is emergency funding available. Did you know that? You think of it. It's available. There are lots of websites available for that, and that is some of the information that we ask a donation for, because as a nonprofit we can't sell it, but we do ask for a donation for it. Personal services, self-help, I said emergency services, food, clothing, money, transportation, disabled people, scouting, youth centers, multi-purposes. It's just too much to tell you at one time. So what falls under the self-help grant? What falls under different criteria for different organizations? It just depends on the organization. Self-help could be teaching someone how to get a skill, teaching rehab, substance abuse. So it just depends on the organization itself. Percentage is big. There are so many people who have been left out of society. If you could incorporate that, just that one alone, women, children, seniors, and ex-offenders. If you can include those in your plan, there is so much funding for it.
My business, I volunteer for shelter down the street. So what I do on occasions is give the women cooking classes.
Teaching arm.
Right.
Teaching arm, yes ma'am.
Teach them how to cook and prepare healthy meals for their kids.
So
the director allows me to do that. That's something I can get funding for.
Yes ma'am. Anything that you can think of, there's funding for it.
Okay.
Anything. I mean, throw something at me.
Mentoring program for youth.
Did I just say mentoring? I thought I did. I thought I did say, yeah, mentoring. I just saw that. Yeah. Tutoring, mentoring programs. That's with an organization called the Community Foundation of Champaign County. That's in Champaign, Illinois. Now, a lot of these organizations are right here in Illinois. Did somebody say Playboy Sunday? Did somebody say Tarzan? We have a